Hi everyone, my name is John Osman and I'm going to show you a few things about Breakdance, that a couple of issues that I wanted to fix. Now this is my second video about this. In the first one I fixed the first two issues but had a workaround for the third one, and this one I have a fix for all three. And I've numbered the issues 1, 1.1, and 2. So it might look like there's only two issues, but there's really three. It's just that the first two are related. So let me go through this as quickly as I can. I don't like to make these videos real long. I like to get right to it. So I have this real basic site running here on my local environment. I have a home page. I have an About Us page. I have a Services page. But you might have seen there as I floated over this, I also have two sub pages, Client Services. And notice it's not only a sub page in the menu structure, but also in the page structure as well. It says Services/Client Services and Partner Services. And of course I just made these up just to create this example. And then over here I have Newsletter. So when I click through to that, you get to the blog area, but it also has some sub menu items, Testimonials and FAQs. All right, so now part of the problem is when you want to highlight the pages that are active. It's pretty easy to highlight the top level pages, so we'll go through that real quick. On this tab over here, I have the Breakdance main header open, and if I select this, and let me open up the structure area as well, because I want to see that. If I go to the menu builder, see that's this menu builder here. So if you create just with a WordPress menu, it also has this same problem, but I'm working with the menu builder for my fixes. So one of the first things you want to do is you want to go to the design area, and on desktop menus, go to links, and here under active, you want to make sure that the text color is what you want. And you could add other effects as well, but I'm just going to say I want the text color to be red, just to keep the example nice and simple. In my first video, one thing I neglected to do is I neglected to go to the mobile menu and do the exact same thing. So I'll do that here. Mobile menu, links, active, and color red. All right, so close those up and hit save. When I come back to the site, I'm going to refresh with Control F5. And now if I go home, see home is red. If I go to About Us, it's red. And these two top level pages work, Services or Newsletter, those turn red. But if I go to any of the sub pages, neither the sub page nor the parent page are red. And that's one of the issues I think needs to be corrected. All right, so I have some repositories. I'm on my second one here. So you can see I did Breakdance issues 01. Now I'm on Breakdance issues 02. It's almost the same exact repository. I was just going to put updates in the first one, but it got a little convoluted and a little hard to read. So I thought just go ahead and make an 02. So here we are at 02. And I have a link back to the first one, but I'm telling people that it's deprecated. So this first part is all pretty much the same. Issue number 1 is if you build your menus with the Breakdance menu builder and include drop-down menus, the active settings that you implement do not apply to the items in any drop-down menu item. They apply only to the top-level menu items. So, so I went ahead and set the active, just like I showed you just a minute ago. I went and set the active features for the text color. And then issue 1.1 is that it doesn't bubble up to the parent, as I demonstrated. Issue number 2 is that the mobile menu does not allow the top-level item of the drop-down menu to click through when it's a linked page. So let me demonstrate that real quick. Go back to the demo, and I'm going to put this in mobile view. I'm in Firefox, and with Firefox you just hit Shift-Control-M. M is in mobile, and it'll show you a mobile view. This is one of the reasons why I like Firefox better than I like Google Chrome. Google Chrome's a great browser, but to get to mobile view in Google Chrome, you have to open up the developer tools, and then it's a little button in the upper left-hand corner. And then the thing is, it stays that way until you go back into the developer view and turn it off. So you can't go into the developer tools in any other way. In other words, once the developer tools are open in Google Chrome, you're either in mobile view or desktop view, no matter what else you're trying to do. Here, it's an independent function. You can go from mobile view to desktop view. All right, so my point is with the Breakdance plugin, one of the issues is I have Services and Newsletter as drop-downs, but I can't click through to the Services page. And in my previous video, what I did was I added an extra link in here that said Services page, And then here I had added an extra one that said read the newsletter or newsletter page or something like that. And then I would hide those on the desktop view. So if you like that workaround, that's why I didn't destroy the old one. But this time I'm going to make it actually to where this becomes a click-through, just like it is in desktop view. If I get out of mobile view, you see I click on services and it clicks through to services. That's what I want in either view. Okay, so let's get to the fixes. All right, so first thing you got to do is you got to prepare your site. In order to do this, we're going to need a child theme. So you go to the Breakdance themes area and go to and select keep themes. So let me show you what that means. Here I am in the front of the site. If I go to the dashboard and then come down here to Breakdance and come to settings, and then in the theme area, they recommend that you simply disable the theme, which is fine most of the time. But if you want to do a solution like this, you need keep theme, and then you don't want some theme like 2024 or anything else really. What you want to do is you want to use their Breakdance 0 theme. So you download that, you upload it to your themes area under appearance. So I've done that already and I have it activated. You see I have active Breakdance 0 theme, all right? And then what you want to do is you want to use something like VS Code to to edit your files. You need to work in a local environment and be pushing it out to the web, or if you use something like Dreamweaver, you can actually edit right on the website. I'm in a local environment, so I have VS Code open here. Let me close these up because I was messing with them, and just to get them out of the way. Okay, so here I am on the Breakdance demo. These are the files, and I have under here themes. Here's my Breakdance 0 theme. I added a JS folder and a menu.js file inside that folder, and then we're also going to work with the functions.php file. So that's what, let me get back to it. That's what all this says right here. Change the theme setting to keep theme, download your Breakdance 0 theme, open your application in VS Code. In the Breakdance 0 theme master folder, create a new folder called JS, and then add a file to it called menu.js. All right, add a new file. Now, of course, you can use your own naming convention, whatever you want, but that's what this example will do. So in the solutions now, the first solution is very easy. We're not even going to use VS Code. We're just going to add this CSS to the menu builder within Breakdance. So I'll go ahead and copy that here, and I'll come over here to the Breakdance editor. I have the header open, and I have the menu builder selected. I go here to this advanced area, actually the settings area, I guess, and then advanced. And in here, click in here. Now what I do is, as you click in there, it actually is giving you some stub code, but we don't want that. So I'm going to hit Control A and then just Control V to paste my code over top of it. All right, so basically we're targeting this Breakdance dropdown item active, and then another class inside of that Breakdance dropdown link label. We want the label to be red. So if I save that, go back over to the site, go out to the front of the site, and let me go ahead and refresh with Control F5 just to make sure I've got all the newest CSS and JavaScript. So now if I go to services and I go to one of the sub pages and I open it up, see now that is now red. I go to partners, that is now red. But you notice it didn't bubble up to the parent. That's 1.1 in my issue list. Same thing with newsletter. If I'm on newsletter, it's red. But if I go to testimonials, now testimonials is red, but the parent is not red. So that's issue 1.1 on my list here. So to do that, this one's a little bit more complex. What we want to do is open up that menu.js file we created in VS Code, and we want to paste in this code right here. There's a little JavaScript to get the job done. So over here in VS Code, I'm going to open up menu.js, and I'm going to paste that in there. And so it's all commented for you, so you know what it's doing. It's basically using the document object model to target anything that has Breakdance dropdown as a class, and then it targets the toggle and so on and so forth. And notice I put red in here, just like I did the other ones. And of course, whatever color you want to choose is fine. So let me go ahead and save that. Notice the dot went away and became an X. You know, you're probably familiar with VS Code, but if I have something going here and I made some changes, see there's a dot there letting me know that file's not changed. I hit Control S or whatever way you want to save the file, but get it saved. Come back over to, oh, that's not it, Firefox. Come back over to my site. I'm going to hit, I'm going to go home just to sort of walk through this. I'm going to hit Control F5 again in case I need the full refresh. And then I'm going to go here to Newsletter and hit Testimonials. And it made a liar out of me. Let's maybe pause the video and try to figure out why. Okay, that didn't take long. I do remember why. Again, back over here in my GitHub repository, I forgot this second step here. You got to go to functions.php and enqueue that JavaScript. So let me grab this little bit of code here, go back up over to Visual Studio Code, go into functions.php, and at the bottom of that, don't mess with any of the stuff that Breakdance has in there. At the bottom of that, let's put this in here to enqueue that script. So what it's doing here is it's enqueuing the menu.js file that we just edited over there. So once again, I'm going to save this file, bring myself back into view because I like talking to people, and go back to my front end here. Again, I'm going to go to home first, again, just to walk through it all, hit Control F5. Now if I go to one of these, it bubbles up to the parent. So both the sub page that's active is highlighted in red and the parent is highlighted in red. Let's try that on Newsletter. Now, of course, there I was at the top level there, so let's go to Testimonials and see it's working as well. Okay, so that's what, oh, it didn't work on FAQ. Okay, that might be because I recently changed the name of this, so I'm going to have to look into that. I'm going to put that off. I don't want to make the video any longer than it is. So it does seem to be working, but I think it has something to do with the fact that I changed the name of this file and the thing up there. So I'm going to have to go look that code over and debug it. But in general, that's working. So let's move on to issue number 2 now. Issue number 2 was about the mobile menu not clicking through. So if I go back into mobile view, once again, I can't click through to Newsletter and I can't click through to Services. However, having said that, the red part should still be working. So if here I'm on About Us, see About Us is red. If I go to Services, Client Services, then open up the menu, both Services is red and so is Client Services. And that same thing should be working with Partners. And so those are red. And I assume that Testimonials will be working, but for whatever reason, the FAQs, it might be that apostrophe. That apostrophe might be causing an error there. But yeah, so this is working. I just have to debug that one, and I'll leave that for another day. Okay, so let's get out of mobile view for right now and go back home to reset everything. And let's go back to our solution here. Just add this code to menu.js. So let's give that a try. Copy that code, come over here to VS Code and menu.js down at the bottom. Paste that in. And once again, it's commented, and you can see what it's targeting. And it's basically going to replace, see it has event.prevent default. It's going to prevent the default behavior, and it's going to tell it that the new behavior is to set the location to this, to the whatever. See, because the link doesn't go away. The code that Breakdance built doesn't strip out the link. The link is still there. In other words, if I inspect this, see there's a link right there, an anchor tag, and that doesn't get stripped out when you go into mobile view. It simply gets overridden with some other JavaScript that they must have written. See, if I see the link is still there, the anchor tag is still there. So this JavaScript, what my JavaScript does is it prevents that default and overrides it with just saying, hey, whatever anchor is here, that's where we want to go. So let's save this file, and we're already calling it because it's under the same menu.js file, and we're already enqueuing that. So that should be all we need to do to make this work. Let me close those developer tools, get back in here. Once again, I like to get out of mobile view. It's probably not necessary, but I just like to be in desktop view when I do a Control F5 and get refresh, a full refresh, and then go into mobile view and test it. So let's go in here, and if I click on Services, you see what happened? It went to Services. It took a moment. There's a little bit of a time delay because the other JavaScript is, I guess, being compiled. JavaScript compiles in real time like that, and then it's being told to default to prevent the default, and then the code that I've written goes into view. So No longer need for the workaround that I had in the other one, which was that I had an extra page put in there and I would hide the page in desktop view and unhide it in mobile view. That's a little cumbersome. It worked, but I like this one better. So there I clicked on newsletter and it takes me right to the blog area. And so that is the new fix. I apologize for the little glitch there on my FAQs file. Again, it's either that apostrophe or if it's because I might have renamed the file recently and maybe didn't follow up on the slug, something of that nature. But I hope you get a lot out of this. I hope this fixes it. In my opinion, the people at Breakdance should fix this because I know they're saying it's a feature, not a bug, but I think it's a bug, not a feature. And somebody else made a comment, by the way, that that they always like to have the top level just be a toggle anyway. And I don't think that's a good idea. At first I thought about it and told the person I'll think about what they offered, but I disagree now because for SEO purposes, and I looked this up, for SEO purposes, it's good to have all your top level menus pointing to a page. And even if when you get to that page, it simply says there are other pages and links to them, that's fine. That's better SEO. The search engines, when they index and crawl your site, that is better for the site layout. It matches the site map better. So I like this solution better. I hope you get a lot out of it. My name is John Osmond, and I'm going to post this to the Facebook group, and I'm also going to post it to my blog over at johnosmond.com. Thanks for watching.